What's up, you beautiful people? How y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Rearranged my office again, cleaned it up a bit. I'm almost done, but I've been sitting here listening to the hearings today. Kash Patel. It's a lot, We'll dig into that later on today. But I wanted to come live real quick because yesterday I did a live, right? Last night. And went over Candace Owens and some of the things that she was saying, and claims that she was making. Now, before I get into it, I want to read this to you, okay? Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you. It says, be still. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Okay? That's Psalms 46:10. Jesus taught me to pray with reverence when he modeled for us, hallowed be your name, Matthew 6:9. This phrase is a petition, not a proclamation, a request, not an announcement. Be hallowed, Lord. Do whatever it takes to be holy in my life. Take your rightful place on the throne. Exalt yourself. Magnify yourself. Glorify yourself. You be Lord, and I'll be quiet. Be still and know that I am God. This verse contains a command with a promise. The command, be still. Cover your mouth, bend your knees. The promise, you will know that I'm God. Right? The vessel of faith journeys on soft waters. Belief rides on the wings of waiting. In the midst of your daily storms, and in the storm that has swept over our country, and even the entire world, make it a point to be still and set your sights on him. Let God be God. Let him bathe you in his glory so that both your breath and your troubles are removed from your soul. Be still. Be quiet. Be open and willing. Take a moment to be still and know that he is God. Be still and allow God to be hallowed in your life. And that is from Max Lucado. God is with you every day. 365 day devotional. Okay. Now, it's hard to be still. It is hard to be still and know that he is God. And you could see it every day in everyday life with yourself, with people around you, with social media, all of that. So, knowing all of that, the reason why I did the live yesterday, talking about Candace and what she had going on, and the things that she was saying, it's because she's not, that right there about being still, her presentation, doesn't incite people to be still. It incites people to hate, and then it incites people to want to take action. There's a lot of people that follow her, and let me just say, God bless Candace Owens, man. God bless her. God bless her followers, everybody. You feel me? But you believer, not you in the world, not you that don't have faith. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking to the believers, man. You got to be willing to critique. You've got to be willing to critique. When somebody is professing Christ, right? And then they go on to say, these people, and then they make a proclamation, right? And then they say the Jews. Or when somebody's saying the blacks, when somebody's saying the whites, you don't realize you have a following and your words. See, people might not have the same level of understanding. Maybe she's not talking about all the Jews, right? Maybe. I know that's what it sounds like. Regardless of how you try to polish it up, it's wrong. And it's wrong for a believer to promote it, right? Got a comment over here I'm looking at on my Facebook. Someone says, Israel killed Charlie, right? Says discernment people, synagogue of Satan. Revelation said people would pretend to be Jewish. Half of the country doesn't have some Semitic blood. Semite blood. Half of the country is from Europe post-World War II. This is where I've broken away from mainline Republicans. I'm an American first Christian. I'm a believer first American, for me, right? And he goes on to say, same song and dance. The ones that are silenced and we're told it's crazy is who you should listen to. Okay. People take that verse. I've done it before when I was going down the rabbit holes in Revelation. Talks about the synagogue of Satan. To them who say that they are Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. Could it be that he's talking about people that, you know, claim to be Jews and are not? Like, it could be, because what is a Jew? See, if you know the whole scripture, if you know the whole, especially in the New Testament, what is a Jew? Because Paul says a Jew is not someone who is one outwardly, right? It's one who is one inwardly. And even the people that say that they are Jews, that they are Jewish, right? He says they're not even really a Jew. It depends on inside. Ultimately, it comes down to, do you have the Holy Spirit? Because there is no more Jew nor Gentile. So why people dance around this whole subject? There is no more Jew nor Gentile. Does that mean there's no more Jewish people, Cash? No, that's not what they're saying at all. There's a whole bunch of people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But to say that one group is evil because they announce themselves as this is wrong. And then when you do some digging, right? Everything is blamed on the Jew. I used to be one of these people. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I used to be one of these people. Everything is blamed on the Jews. The Jews, the Jews, the Jews. Movie comes out, it's the Jews. You know, something bad happens, it's the Jews. It's always the Jews. Everything falls on the Jews, and that's sad. You know, I feel for people that are Jewish, man, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing and really just trying to live their life, and they ain't even thinking about none of this stuff, and they got to get this hate because they walk down the street with a yarmulke on or something. My response to this brother is real simple. I say, that statement is wild, bro. Israel is a nation of many different groups, some of which are Christian. That's why I speak out against this type of rhetoric. Now, a safer statement would have been that you believe some influential people within Israel may have had something to do with the passing of Charlie. But even then, now you have to provide proof, which you don't have. And all the evidence that you would put forth would easily be put down because of the counter evidence suggesting contrary. So it's pointless to make that type of claim. It only adds to the crazy, it adds to the division, and it adds to the encouragement of evil actions. Why do I say this? Well, I don't know if you guys are aware. You know, I see all these clips. People keep on sharing these clips of Charlie taking a stance about the media when they were writing articles about him in Israel, saying, what are you doing, Charlie, and all this stuff, right? And they take it completely out of context as if he was turning against Israel. Well, his last podcast, go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. Just go watch it. Go and tell me if it sounds like Charlie Kirk was turning on Israel, which it's ridiculous that we even got to have this discussion because it doesn't matter there's no turning on Israel. Like, it's just, I am one of Israel's biggest critics when it comes to their government. That's no secret, right? I have questions a lot, but I understand that that's not a reflection of all the people within Israel, right? I understand that just like America, we have groups of people who just are dedicated to doing evil, man. And it's everywhere. It's in every group. You have churches, you know, you got the Church of God and you got the Church of Satan, you know. You would think that the Church of Satan was dedicated to doing evil, but I bet you there's people inside of the Church of Satan that just are really just want to do good. You know, you just got it messed up, but they're not bad people. I know that sounds really crazy, right? But it's real. Just because somebody identifies as something doesn't mean that they are evil because of it. I don't think that the whole nation of Israel is evil. That's ridiculous. There's good and bad in everything, right? But people just seem to keep on running with this, and it's crazy because it's believers. It's believers. And that's all I'm on is just talking about people that say that they believe, man. You're a believer to what you doing. I know I don't look like a typical believer at all. I probably don't sound like one at all. But again, God's looking inside, you know? He ain't worried about an outward appearance. An outward appearance doesn't dictate anything. I could wear crosses all day and, you know, got Jesus tattoos and wear a Jesus loves you shirt and all of that. And then go outside and be partaking in the filth of the world. Well, then I just look like one outwardly. Inwardly, I'm just as messed up as the world. And unfortunately, man, that's what we're seeing going on right now. People that look the role, play the role, but don't act it. They don't show it inside. Like it's not reflective in their actions. And he says that you will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. It blows my mind how easily we can be led to believe something and fall into this system of hate. It's really what it is. It's a system of hate engineered by the devil. You know, people want to know who killed Charlie Kirk. Well, it was this young dude. And this is the thing. People arguing whether or not it was a professional hit. Bro, come on. It wasn't professional. At first glance, when it first happened, you can make the argument because you're like, yo, this is a college campus. And it looked like it, you had to have some aim to hit right here in the same. And it's just like, no, once the facts come out, you realize this kid was a hunter, very good hunter. And then, he laid on top of a roof. He didn't find shade. It wasn't nothing. He didn't cover himself up. He didn't have a clean getaway. None of that. It was very, very sloppy. But yet you still got these people who persist that it was an inside job and that Israel did this and it was. And then Candace, I forgot to show you guys that last night. She pulls up the gun that was used and says, well, I got this expert. And the expert, she plays a clip of the expert saying that nobody can remove that fast. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I'm probably going to get taken out for this. It's just like, calm down, bro. The police, 9 times out of 10, the police probably put that all back together for the picture. It was sitting inside of their own little containment box, So, only thing that you was told was that, hey, it was wrapped in a towel and they found it like that. But they didn't show you the picture of the towel. They showed you a picture of it assembled and put inside the evidence box or whatever it's called, evidence locker. I don't know. Because that's what they do. That's just what they do. And people are running with this. For God's sakes, you have an image put out there of the dude and he's wearing a freaking MAGA shirt. And people shared that more than they shared the original picture. So now people on the left are like, he was MAGA, and they still running with it. They're still running with it. It just lets you know how easily people can be tricked. And it's crazy, man. AI is something. AI is something. You don't know what you're looking at. And it makes me think about that verse in the Bible where he says, man, he's going to cause a great delusion to come on people. I believe AI could be part of that delusion, man. You don't know what you're looking at no more. You don't know what you're looking at no more. Up is down, down is up, sideways is over this way, and red is blue, It's crazy. It's crazy. And people they're not seeing it. Nobody's seeing it. When I make these little videos like I did last night, I know it seemed a little bit controversial and it probably rubbed some people the wrong way that are Candace fans. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. That's not it. But I gotta be the voice of reason and things like that, man. When I watch stuff like that, it's just like, it just doesn't add up. It does not add up. And why does everybody want Israel to be the enemy? Like as a whole, It's crazy. And why I speak up about it again is, let me tell you guys something. Whether or not you agree with the Holocaust, right? Whether or not you agree that it happened or it didn't happen or whatever, we know the World War II happened. And we know that Hitler himself was saying some really crazy stuff about the Jews, right? It's a real thing. It happened. And I know that there's different positions about it. Like I said, I fell into the conspiracy hole too. But to say that there were children back then. You know what I'm saying? There was kids that they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. There's kids now that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But you're trying to create a society or contributing to a society that's saying you're not welcome because you're Jewish. You're going to grow up and be evil, just like all the rest. That's how they try to paint it. And it's horrible. It's horrible. It's just, let's be real. That's horrible. It's like telling a little black kid, you're going to grow up and you're going to go to prison because you're just like all the rest of them. Even though all the rest of them, they're only talking about 2% of the 14% of black folks that live in America. You know, 2%. 2% of the population of black folks commit these heinous things that, you know, people like to run with when they give statistics. 2%. So what about the other 12? What about the other 12? How come they're reflective of black society and not the good 12% that contribute to society? I think it's like less than 2% of white folks are racist. You know what I'm saying? I just made that statistic up, but I'm just saying from my own life, right? I would even go less than that. Less than 1% of white folks that I've encountered in America are racist or show any, indication that they're racist. It's just like, maybe it's less than 1%, you know? But yet you got the other side of it will try to paint a narrative that white people they're the enemy. They're the ones that's wrong. And ain't nobody taking a step back and saying, hold on, why am I even believing any of this when I don't see this happening in my life. I've never ran into a Jewish person that hates me because I'm not Jewish. I've never encountered it. In fact, the Jewish people that I do know, very nice, wholesome people. I don't even think that they're religious, but they hold on to their Jewish ethnicity. It's BS, you guys. Plain and simple. It's BS. So what else do I got over here? Where are we at? Charleston White. That's who. Charleston White. This fool is letting his demon talk, man. Saying some real messed up. He's just on a bender of just hate. He's always been hateful, but it's just this city extreme right now. But again, I see a bigger play because he's known for talking smack about black people. And he's a black man, right? He's known for talking stuff about black people. Black community mostly hated him because, he says things just horrible and says them wrong, right? But there was a lot of truth in what he was saying. So people warmed up to him, myself included, was like, okay, yeah, he ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? He's telling the truth. He just sounds like an ignorant nigga, man, when he's saying what he's saying. But now he's talking about Charlie Kirk. Some of the points that he would make is to say, why he should be able to say what he say. Cool enough. That's what's up. But the way that he's saying what he's saying now, talking about his children, talking about the man's wife, and I already was against him for what he was saying about, I don't know if y'all know the rapper Lil Boosie, but the things that he was saying about Lil Boosie and Lil Boosie's son, like he's always bringing kids into things, and I can't get with that. What he said about King Yella, his kid, and it's just like, now you're ignorant. Now you're a part of the problem, and you're contributing to a degenerate way of life. Like you're promoting it. It's no longer about the wisdom that you may have had. Now it's just completely discredited because we see you on full display acting like a demon. So if you see that dude, don't jump in his comment section. That ain't worth it. It's not worth it because you got a bunch of hate-filled people in there on both sides. You got black folks calling him, calling all the white people in there all types of names, and the white folks in the comments calling him all types of names. And all these people that defend Charlie Kirk are now stepping outside of themselves and stepping in a way that Charlie Kirk wouldn't have, approved of them doing. Christ definitely don't approve of it. And yeah, just be careful, man. The internet, these people, it's a lot of people out here, bro. It's nuts. And then I wanted to clear this up. Oh, what's this? Hold on. Yeah, let's bring this up. Let's see what Charlie had to say right here, because Candace made the claim that Charlie Kirk is now was turning into a Protestant. A Catholic. That he was leaving, and he was going to be a Protestant or a Catholic, and he was praying the rosary and all this kind of stuff. So I want to see how much truth is to it. Let's listen together, everybody.
Because of our leaders.
Oh, hold on. Let me fix it. Got my sound coming out my speakers. It's not supposed to be there. Let's fix that right quick. Where we at? And stereo. There we go. Okay, now we can play it.
Because of our leaders, it's that
I guess that.
Well, no, it's young men are going back to church. That is legit. That's happening because honestly, it's the only thing that they can find. It's a life raft in this just tsunami of chaos and disorder. So I get asked all the time, well, why are they going to the Catholic Church? Why are they going to the Orthodox Church more than the Evangelical Church? And I'm evangelical. I'll say, well, first of all, they want something that has lasted. They want something that is ancient and that is beautiful, something that has stood the test of time, something that's not going to change, something that's all of a sudden not going to all of a sudden just flip around and have some sort of, transgender story hour. So that's a really positive trend in the midst of all this. So that's my great hope is the spiritual hope that the young men that are lost. And if any young man is listening to this right now, like stop watching porn, stop, smoking weed, stop drinking endlessly. Find yourself back to church. That will reorient your life.
I agree.
And do what the church tells you to do, right? Find a woman, marry her, provide, have more kids than you can afford. That's my advice for young men.
Yes.
Don't play the victim, even though you legitimately can play the victim card on everything we've said.
I agree.
The mindset of a victim is parasitic to your soul.
I like that. I didn't hear him say that he was switching over to Catholicism, but, I don't know. Who knows? Even if he was, who cares? That's not the issue that I would have, right? My only issue with what I had with what she said last night was how, basically, if you're not a Catholic, you're stupid. It's like, yo, that's wild work right there. That's crazy. But I'm curious myself. I got my books. I'll be reading. Got my book. You know what I'm saying? The Catholic Church through the ages, and I got this other one about Origen. He's a Catholic, I guess, writer from back in the day. I don't know. I'm just barely getting into that one. But yeah, I've been studying a little bit about Catholicism, just trying to understand it. But at the end of the day, everybody, I want you to understand something. Christ ain't tell us to have a religion. He said true religion is to take care of widows and orphans. That's it. Uphold the 10 Commandments. Uphold the law in your life, right? Take care of widows and orphans. All this argument about a religion, which religion is right, the Catholics or the Protestants, and then when you are, which kind are you? Are you Baptist? Are you Pentecostal? Are you non-denominational? Are you Methodist? Are you Lutheran? Well, who cares? As long as you got Jesus, look, hey, do your thing. Do your thing, man. And he's going to guide you. That's how I feel about it. That's why I don't bash people. You know what I'm saying? On what religion they are. And another thing, somebody hit me with a question. Cash, you talk Christ, but you say that you love people that are LGBTQ. Well, yeah, I love them. I'm not supposed to hate them. What does that have to do with anything? My faith is my faith. My faith is in Christ. But he told me to love people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not partaking in, the things that other people do. That's them. You don't have to hate somebody because you don't like what they do. That's not what we are called to do. Well, that's not what I'm called to do, the way that I interpret this word, right? I don't have to approve of their lifestyle or affirm that what they're doing is okay, because I can't do that. Now, if you ask me to do that, I can't. But it doesn't mean that I got to hate them, or I got to down talk them, or I got to make it like their sin is any worse than my own. Me telling a lie is the same as them committing that act. You stealing or you looking at a woman with lust in your heart is the same. People act like there's some level to sin. Sin is sin. You just want to cherry pick, though. You want to nitpick which one you could point out that you don't do and try to hold people accountable because they do that one and I only do these. No. And this is why most of us shouldn't really judge, to be honest with you. It's a real hard thing. Like if you step out there and you try to judge somebody, you better make sure that you are squeaky clean. It is what it is. That's just for me. Everybody got different convictions and they happen at different times in their life. That's it. Cash, you're defending Israel. I ain't defending Israel for nothing. I'm defending people who live in Israel that probably are Christian, or maybe can become a believer. I'm defending the fact that you can't make a judgment on a whole nation simply because you read some conspiracy books, or you watch your favorite influencer show you these clips, taken out of context, or about the passport that was found, at 9/11 and how Mossad may have been involved. Look, all of that could be true. I don't know, right? All I know is to say that all of the people are bad. In the same way, when people try to say that all the Palestinians are bad, the war against Islam, and all of this, like, God, you know how many Muslims came to Christ? I was a Muslim at one time. I came to Christ. Do you know how many Muslims came to Christ and are coming to Christ? You don't believe in revival? The war against Islam. Let it be a war against the ideals of Islam. Really, not even. Let it be a war against sin. And let that be within yourself. You want to try to tell somebody that you know better than them, and they watching you be a hate mongerer. They're watching you be a wicked, evil individual. And you want to have the moral high ground to try to tell them because they wear a burqa and don't have the same understanding as you. And they wrong. Nah. If you're trying to lead people, right? You're trying to lead people to Christ, or you're trying to lead people into a better way of thinking. You don't have to be hateful. You really don't. Matter of fact, it won't work if you do. It's my belief that God doesn't want people to be scared into serving him. If you got to fearmonger somebody into believing in God, well, then that's not real love or real dedication or why they're coming. It's because of a punishment that they fear. I.e., the Crusades. When the Crusades happen, why ever they happen, but telling them either you're gonna believe or your life's gonna be taken, right? It's the same thing with how the Muslims did in their conquest. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad was a warlord, and he made people either believe or you're gonna die. Like that was the thing. And that's not true. That's not a true come to Jesus moment or a come to God moment. Which is why we don't do those things anymore. We keep on evolving as a society. We keep on growing as a society. And you still have these people that have this, maybe a primitive way of thinking, medieval type of thinking. Like, it doesn't work. And it's not effective, And nowadays, because of the laws that you have, if you try to be that way, bro, they lock you up. And rightly so. Straight up. We're a civilized society. And you got these people out here pushing racial hate, religious hate, ethnic hate. All this, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It really is. And then people with the whole thing going, good morning, everybody. I see you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to get over to the chat in a minute. But you got these people making all these conspiracies around Charlie Kirk, man. And I got to say, it's wild because they got the person. It's not like the person ain't caught. They've got him. And they're uncovering a whole bunch of stuff, money being transferred in a network, and let them do their job. Like it's like we read, be still. Be still and know that I'm God. Right? I believe Charlie was a really good believer. I believe that he's with the Father right now. Right? And if I believe that, I believe that God knows what he's doing and that Charlie was within the will of God. And I believe that he's going to allow justice, the ultimate justice, you know, at the end. But even in life, if we all just chill and take a breather for a second and let God be God, you know, it's all going to work out. And I got to say, that verse that I read, what was it, in Peter? I believe it was in Peter, where he said, you know, you got these people running around in this world. I'm paraphrasing. You got these people running around in this world speaking evil of dignitaries. Whereas even the angels won't do it. The angels won't do the things that we do. You know, the angels won't do the things that humans do. We are bold in the way that we just are, and the things that we say and the claims that we make against people with no proof. It's just wrong. I'm not going to pretend to understand everything about governments, right? I'm not going to pretend to understand the hearts and minds of the people that God has allowed to be leaders in this world. Okay? But I know that in here, he said he's got a master plan and that he allows people to become the leaders that they are, whether they're a good leader or a bad leader. It's the same thing. When Israel asked for a king, we want to be like the other nations. We want a king. God's like, yo, I'm your king, but okay, I'm going to give you what you want. You want a king? I'm going to let you get one. And they gave him Saul, and Saul was horrible, a bad leader, a bad king. But God allowed him to be the king. We have a lot of possible bad kings right now, possible bad leaders right now, but they're only there because God permits it. So if he permits it, that means he's got a plan. And there's some lessons to be learned, right? We could sit up here all day and say, Israel this, Israel that, Trump this, Trump that, Iran this, Iran that. God has allowed every single one of these people to be where they are, all these different agencies. Where you say, Cash, but Satan rules the world. Not exactly. No, Satan has power in this world over hearts of men that allow, and maybe monetary wealth or, you know, exposure. What's it say that he went to Jesus and took him up to a high place and said, look, I'll give you. He showed him the world in all of its splendor, right? The things. Showed him the things, the gold, the rubies, the cities, probably the women, you know, all of these things. He said, I give you all these things. You just bow down and worship me. And he was like, nah, I'm straight. Get thee behind me, Satan. Like, you ain't even supposed to be up here talking like this, bro. I literally have the whole, all of existence underneath my control. You think you got people that follow you and you got shiny things and made people think that they have value. You got shiny things and you think that that's valuable. That's cute. Get behind me. Yet, people never really understand. God is the one that's in complete control. The only power that Satan has is the power that people give him over them. But what about the people that die, Cash, and Satan's going to do this and do that? True, could be. It possibly could happen. It says in there that, you know, we're going to be taken out for his name's sake, right? But that doesn't mean he has power over you, because you don't know who you are. If you knew who you were in Christ, then you know that this body is fleeting. It's nothing. This body's nothing. The things of this world are nothing. They're nothing at all. It's just stuff. It's just, flesh. Who you are. God is in control. God is in control. And when you leave from here, you go back to God. That's my faith. That's my faith. So then, Cash, why you even come on here and talk about any of this stuff with Candace and, Israel and any of it? Well, I just guess that's what God put in me to do. Not to throw hate, not to throw, shade or nothing like that, but to try to bring people to a common sense approach and simplify things, to say, it ain't that serious, man. The only thing that you should be worried about is your soul. And that's directly tied to the way that you think. And even more directly tied to the actions that you take. You want to fix the world? Fix yourself. Be the change. You want to fix the world? You want to save the world? Fix yourself. It's simple. Because they've tried all the other things. I see all the people that are now super proud nationalist Christian nationalist. It's like, bro, calm down. Okay, calm down. It's gonna be okay. All right. Just another title that people twist. People twist it up. You mean that you're about God and country, I'm assuming when you say that. But some people on the other side that maybe have a deep love for God as well understand that phrase to be different. No, you're a white supremacist in their mind. So why not just drop the label? I'm just a believer. I'm just a believer, and I want to see you do good. I ain't got no hate towards, whites, blacks, Jews, Christians, Muslims, nations. No hate, none. I just hate wicked actions. That's all. I hate division that isn't separating yourself from the sin. That's the only kind of division that I promote. The division from sin. That's it. You could be there too. Because look, I wasn't like this before. This is all, 2025, really. It's growth. And we should be growing in that direction. It's okay to change your mind. If you've been a hater of black folks your whole life, or a hater of white people your whole life, or a hater of Jewish people your whole life, or whatever, you can change that. Literally, you can fix it by allowing God to fix you. Simple. Everybody can be redeemed. And that's the prayer. That's the prayer, that everybody will come to the knowledge of Christ, man. The faith in Christ. That's the only thing that'll heal the world. I was on TV when I was like 10, singing that song with my church. It was on like one of the local stations, right? Say, Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him, there's no other. Jesus is the way. It's simple. I learned that as a kid. I remember, right? It's really that simple. And I know it's cliche, bro. It is cliche. It's like, this brother is gone off the deep end. Cash is not the same. And you're right. I'm not. And I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. Lose followers, Cash. Don't care. It's all good. I don't care. The followers are cool and everything. I do got bills to pay. That's all great and everything. But I know the God's going to provide no matter what. Because all I got to do is keep stepping right. So when you see me come on and hold somebody accountable like Candace, or I hold a politician accountable. No, I'm not talking about them as a person. I'm talking about the actions that they take with the platform that God has granted them. That's all. Just because people are seen, don't think that they're blessed by God. Just because people got massive platforms, don't think that they are blessed by God. It might have started out as a blessing, but again, the devil came and showed Jesus everything in the world. I'll give you all of this. Okay? Understand that. Might have started as a blessing from God, but now it's turned into a lesson that they might learn. Might not. Because they took it and they used it like how I did. I mean, let's be real. Like how I did in 2020. I got all the fame and I started making all the money and all this. And then my ego got in the way. Ego got in the way. Stopped focusing on unity, stopped focusing on God, started focusing more on politics and only politics and leftist demons and all this. Saying all the right stuff. That's the stuff that people want to hear. The itching ears, you know? But it ain't right. The ideology, the radical leftist ideology, I'm against, because I know that's straight from Satan. A radical left ideology is from Satan. Guess what, though? A radical right ideology is from Satan. See how easy that is? Liberals and conservatives scratching their heads like, wait, what? Yeah. Radical. Calling for harm against somebody. No, man. All y'all talking about that's out there in my comments talking about they hope this person burns in hell. Like, yo, what? That's a curse. You just called a curse on some. Your hope should be that person comes into the faith, man. Comes to repentance. What do you mean you hope this person burns in hell? You know what I'm saying? Somebody asked me about the death penalty. Cash, how you feel about the death penalty? I was confused about the death penalty for a long time, but then I understood justice, right? I understood justice. You got to go by the laws of the land. Now, if it were up to me, I would say in certain situations, obviously, if they gave me the say, if it was like, okay, this is the justice right here, right? But we're going to leave it up to you. Well, then I'm always going to choose mercy. Always. Hands down. I don't care. The crime could be heinous, horrible, disgusting. And I'm going to choose mercy. Lock them up for the rest of their life. Now, I don't want to take nobody's life. That's me. But if a judge was to say, I sentence this person to the death penalty, I'm not going to argue it. And I'm not going to plead for mercy because that is justice. It's simple. That's why this is the main reason why the decision doesn't fall into us and they have magistrates. This is the reason why they have judges. You guys, the death penalty, I'm sorry. Maybe some people get mad. The death penalty is not a sin. It is not a sin to have the death penalty. Matter of fact, the death penalty is in the Bible. But when it comes to a personal decision from a human being, what we call to have mercy. Simple. Jesus Christ on the cross. Lord, look, they committed murder against Jesus Christ. He was dying on the cross, and he said, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Not fighting against me, you fighting against the Bible if you think that I'm telling a lie. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But it's up to the judges. Yo, hey, they said you got to go, dog. I can't do nothing about it. That's justice, and I'm not supposed to fight against that, man. That's God put them where they are to make that decision. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to your personal actions and your personal decisions, I see a lot of you guys in the comments, man, on other posts. You're like, I hope that this mother effer dies, and you're calling a curse on somebody. You're calling a curse on somebody. And I know it's human. It's human. I'm just here to remind you, yo, keep Christ right here so you don't do that. So we don't be like the world. We don't want to be like the world. That's what we fighting against. We fighting against the world, man. The ideologies that come from Satan that are in the world. Okay? It's simple. Not an attack against Candace yesterday. I love Candace. I'm praying for Candace. Very educated, very smart woman. But some of the things that she is saying is wrong. Praying for Nick Fuentes. Disagree with almost everything. Everything. He has some good takes sometimes, Cash, but yeah, guess what? A broke clock is right twice a day. At least twice a day. No, at the most. At the most, the broke clock is right twice a day. But I'm praying for Nick. He professes to be a Christian. I'm praying for him. That's all. That's all. But the things that he says is not from Christ. It's straight from the devil. So I'm not attacking him. I'm attacking the devil that he's allowing to use his voice to stoke hate. But he's spitting facts though, Cash. A lot of what he says is true. Okay. Go ahead. Go do your thing. Do your thing. Have fun with that. I can't get with it. Check out some of these comments over here. Only God. Let me see. I pray for the man that destroyed my life. So doesn't have to mean I hope he gets his prayer and gets out of prison. I put my anger at him in God's hand. That's it. Fighting every day to spread the love of Christ. That's right. Only God and the sinner know the truth of their heart. There it is. Twice a day. Yeah, I got it right. Yup. Sue says, I believe Candace was speaking out of emotion. Her heart is hurting. She lost a good friend. However she was speaking out of, I can't claim to know, right? I don't know. All I know was what she said. And what she said is stoking a lot of hate towards a specific group of people. And that's careless and not of Christ. That's all. Yes, Lord, help her remove the blinders from her eyes. It's too far right. The Bible speaks on not going too far to the right or the left. That's exactly right. Candace claims to be a woman of faith, yet has turned to gossip TV and judging others. That part. It's not Candace, though. Candace ain't doing that. It's the demon. It's not Candace. It's the demon. You know? That's how I look at it. When people do wrong things, and they listen to the demon. They listen to the devil. That's how I look at it. The 10 Commandments said, we shall not kill. No, it says we shall not murder. You kill is different than murder. It says thou shalt not murder. Because murder is outside the law, right? But killing is justified in certain instances, according to the law. Pronouns does she it. Yo, that was clever. Yeah, if I would have said that faster, you would have had me up here cursing right now, man. I would be a good jury because I can't kill a human just because he killed another. Only God can be the judge at the end of the day. Hey, I feel you. But again, if we going according to the law here, if you're sitting on a jury and the death penalty is on the table, it's not up to you to say they should die or not die. It's up to you to judge whether they're guilty or not guilty. See how the law is, it's made that way. So it's not on you. You're not sentencing this person. The only thing you're doing is judging based off of the law, whether or not, and the evidence provided, whether the person is guilty or not guilty. That's all. Let's throw that out there. Candace has fear in her heart. Candace has fear in her heart comes from somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that she really was that fearful, and making the claims that she makes about, Mossad or Bibi Netanyahu or whoever, the Israelis or however you want to put it, right? She would not be as bold as she is to say what she says, and she definitely would have gotten, taken before Charlie Kirk. God wants us to love them too. To be godly is to love everyone. Yes, love everybody, hate the sin, and call it out if it's somebody within the church. That's why we have to be strong in our faith and fight the demons that come after us. There it is. You got it. Amen. Yeah. It's just a lot going on, you guys. There's a lot going on in the world. People are losing their minds. Let's just be real. People are losing their minds. And some people are praising it and letting it be okay and ain't saying what needs to be said. And I don't want us to be them. And when I say us, I mean my followers. I don't got the base that I once had, but I'm really proud of the people that I do have. I'm proud of the people that are here, the street lights. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud because we are trying. We trying to put good out there, bro. We're trying to really just live Christ. You know what I'm saying? And I know we ain't none of us perfect. I slip up, I slip up. But I say sorry, I apologize, and I don't try to do it again. And that's what I feel a lot of these people ain't doing. A lot of these influencers, bro, they not in it to tell you the truth. They're in it to make $1, which is why they leave a hook on next week's show. Make sure you show up. Make sure you show up to my next show. You don't want to miss it because I'm dropping all the receipts. That's what they do. It's just like, bro, if you got it, why don't you say it now? Are you just here to be an entertainer? Is that what this is? Because if that's the case, just say that. I'm just here to get some money. I'm just here to be an entertainer. I don't really believe in any of the things that I say. Just say that. Say that. Don't make people think that you are credible. Don't make people believe that you're trying to put them up on some type of game and that you got their well-being, at heart. Don't do that. That's fake. That's fake. And you got people out here messed up. Yeah. Say unite, don't fight, because only you can be the light you see in America. Something like that. You was close, sis. You was close. Unite, don't fight. Be a street light, because only you could be the change you wish to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything falls apart. That's the truth. I love that mantra. I love that. God gave me that. God gave me that. Be proud. It's crazy. Cash, God's hands are on you. Keep speaking truth and love. You're doing a fine job at it. I appreciate that. Love you, Cash. I love you too, Jackie. Howdy, grace and peace, Lamb's grace. How you doing? How you doing? We're going to be all right, y'all. At the end of the day, we're going to be all right. Trust God is in control. Even though it looks like the world's on fire around you out there, don't worry, because the fire ain't going to touch you. Okay? And if it does, then you're going to come out refined like gold because you have the Spirit of Christ. There it is. Okay? God didn't never say we weren't going to go through hard times and tribulations. In fact, he promised us that we would. But when it got to be too bad, like right before he pours out his wrath upon the earth, we're saved. We're good. He says he's going to move us out the way at that, right? That last part, that you're going to go through a lot of it, right? You're going to feel the heat. The fire may not touch you. You're going to feel the heat, but the fire may not touch you because he says he's going to move you out the way. When that is, I don't know. How bad it's going to be before it gets, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. All I'm saying is to stand firm in your faith. Be careful who you're listening to. And if you are listening to them and you built a relationship and you love them people, well, when they do step out of line, you got to pull them back. You got to let them know. You got to let them know. Say, man, I really love most of the things that you say, but help me understand this one because I'm in my Bible. My Bible says that we ain't supposed to do that. So why are you doing that? Why are you promoting that? And that's out of love. That's it. Can't nobody get mad at you for that. If they get mad at you for that, well, then guess what? They're a fool. It says it in there. A fool despises correction. If you're trying to correct somebody in the ways and they say, oh, you're an idiot. I ain't listening to you. I got to get this bag. Well, all right, then. You let me know where you stand. And now I just got to back off and let you go ahead and implode and pray to God that he brings you back. And then you can say, you know what? I slipped up right there, y'all. I slipped. He sat me down. He sat me down. Go to the throne, not the phone. I like that. I might take that. I might have to take that from you, Denise. I like that. Go to the throne, not the phone. That's it. That's it, man. Trust God. You hit it. Amen. Yo. Okay. So before I get off, everybody, I need a favor. Okay. I need a favor. I do. Listen. So I've been studying about the algorithm and I learned a few things, right? First off, if you put out crap content, it's not going to do good. But even if you do put out good content, it still won't do good, depending on one thing. And that's whether or not you hit the like button. It's not about a subscribe button. It's not about anything. It's literally the like button. So everybody just watching this right now, if you could do me a favor, if you enjoyed this little talk, this content, go on ahead and hit that like button. Help your bro get out there in the algorithm more so we can spread this type of message. Just have sensible talks. Bring people to a better understanding and just put out some good. It's a lot of toxic stuff out there, y'all. I ain't trying to contribute to it. And plus, I'm about to make a real cool video and I'm going to edit it and all that. And I really want it to be seen. So you guys hit the like button. It helps the brother out. It helps Paige. All right. Beyond that, I love y'all, man. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back on later. Unite, don't fight. This is for you. I got you. All right. Unite, don't fight. Be a street light, because only you could be the change you wish to see in this world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America and the rest of the world, because without God, everything falls apart. And that's a fact. I'm just giving it to you raw. Okay. That's a fact. Without God, your life's going to suck. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be awesome. But then afterlife is really going to suck. That's it. Catch y'all later.